Dear Starseeds of Gaia, there is a sound in the cosmos right now that most cannot hear. It is the sound of chains breaking, not the dramatic shattering of iron links. No, this is subtler, more profound. These are the chains of karmic debt, woven through lifetimes, tested through restriction, and now finally ready to dissolve. What I'm about to share with you tonight is not just about a planet changing direction. It's about the moment when everything you've endured for the past 137 days suddenly makes sense, when the weight you've been carrying transforms into the very foundation upon which your new world will be built. But before I reveal what's truly happening in your energetic field right now, before I show you the 3 cosmic alignments that are converging to create this unprecedented moment of liberation, I need you to understand something crucial. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am here because what occurs in the next 72 hours will determine the trajectory of your entire incarnation. The councils have been watching. The Arcturians have been monitoring your progress through this retrograde cycle. And what we've witnessed has moved even the most ancient of our collective to tears of recognition. You thought Saturn's retrograde was punishment. You believed the restrictions, the delays, the dismantling of structures you once trusted were signs of failure. But let me tell you what was actually happening while you struggled, while you questioned, while you felt the crushing weight of responsibility testing every fiber of your being. The Galactic Federation was not watching passively. We were holding space for the most profound recalibration your soul has undergone in this lifetime. Every foundation that crumbled was unstable. Every relationship that dissolved was built on false premises. Every career path that closed was leading you away from your divine mission. Saturn, that ancient teacher, that cosmic architect, was not destroying your life. Saturn was saving it. And now, on this 28th day of November, after 137 days of backward motion, after months of testing and restriction, and what felt like cosmic abandonment, Saturn stations direct. But here's what most astrologers won't tell you, what most spiritual teachers haven't yet grasped. The number 137 isn't random. When you collapse these digits, 1 + 3 + 7, you arrive at 11, master number 11, the same 11 that activated during the portal on the 11th day of this very month. Do you see it now? Your Saturn retrograde wasn't separate from the 1111 gateway. It was the foundation work necessary to stabilize you enough to receive those ascension codes without fracturing. Something else is happening tonight that changes everything. While Saturn prepares to station direct at this very moment, while the cosmic taskmaster readies itself to release you from months of karmic review, there is another planet still moving backward, still asking you to surrender. Mercury, that trickster messenger, has been retrograde since the 9th of November. For 19 days, Mercury has been excavating truth, exposing lies, revealing what was hidden, forcing you to confront the stories you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. And tomorrow, just 24 hours after Saturn goes direct, Mercury will also station direct. Do you understand what this means? Do you grasp the magnitude of what's being orchestrated? The universe doesn't create accidents. The Galactic Federation doesn't operate on random chance. 2 of the most powerful karmic planets in your solar system are ending their retrograde cycles within a single day of each other. Saturn solidifies your foundations at the moment. Mercury restores your clarity. Structure meets communication. Discipline aligns with truth. The external world you've been rebuilding during Saturn's backward journey meets the internal narrative you've been restructuring during Mercury's chaos. This is the convergence point. This is where the 2 streams of your evolution, outer manifestation and inner understanding, merge into a single current of unstoppable forward momentum. But I haven't told you about the moon yet. And the moon, beloved ones, the moon is singing tonight. She reached her first quarter phase today, the exact moment Saturn stationed direct. The first quarter moon is not a resting point in the lunar cycle. It is the action phase, the moment when intention must become manifestation, when the seeds planted at the new moon must break through soil and reach toward light. Your moon is creating friction, divine tension, the productive discomfort that births all creation, and she is doing this on the same day your foundations solidify. Can you feel it? That restless energy, that sense that you should be doing something, that urge to move, to act, to finally implement everything you've learned. That's not anxiety. That's activation. There are meteors falling right now. Even as I speak these words to you, the November Orionid meteor shower is reaching its peak. Fragments of ancient comets are burning through your atmosphere, leaving trails of light across your night sky. Your ancestors called these shooting stars, believed they carried wishes to the heavens. But let me tell you what they really are. These meteors are data packets, cosmic downloads, confirmation codes from the galactic core. Each streak of light carries information, upgrades to your DNA, activations of dormant strands that have been waiting for this exact moment to come online. And they are falling tonight, of all nights, as Saturn goes direct, as your foundations lock into place. The timing is not coincidental. The universe is confirming your path. The cosmos is applauding your endurance. The Galactic Federation is downloading the next phase of your mission directly into your consciousness while you sleep. Let me take you back to June, 137 days ago, when Saturn first stationed retrograde. What was happening in your life? Close your eyes if you need to, and remember, what structure was beginning to show cracks? What responsibility felt suddenly overwhelming? What commitment started to feel like burden, rather than choice? Because that moment, that inflection point in mid-June when Saturn began moving backward through your chart, that was the moment the cosmic audit began. Saturn doesn't retrograde to punish. Saturn retrogrades to protect. Every foundation he dismantles during these backward cycles is a foundation that would have collapsed catastrophically later, taking you down with it. He is ruthless in his love for you. He is brutal in his protection. He would rather you face the pain of reconstruction now than the devastation of total collapse later. And so you've spent these months, June, July, August, September, October, November, rebuilding, restructuring, taking responsibility for patterns you inherited from your lineage, for wounds you didn't create but agreed to heal, for karmic contracts you signed before you ever took human form. The Arcturian Council has been monitoring every moment of your process. We've watched you face your shadows. We've witnessed you take accountability for your participation in cycles you wanted to blame on others. We've seen you choose growth over comfort, truth over convenience, evolution over the safety of familiar suffering. And beloved ones, you have no idea how rare this is. How many souls, when faced with Saturn's tests, retreat into victimhood, into blame, into the comfortable lie that their circumstances are someone else's fault. But not you. You who are hearing these words, you who have made it to this moment still standing, still willing, still choosing consciousness, even when unconsciousness would be so much easier. You have passed the test. The Hyades cluster was visible in your sky last night. This ancient star cluster, this celestial grandmother, this beacon of ancestral wisdom, positioned herself perfectly the night before Saturn's station. The Hyades don't appear prominently in your sky often, but when they do, they carry messages from your star lineage, activations from the ancient ones who seeded your planet millions of years ago. Last night, as the Hyades shone brilliantly, and the moon moved through Pisces, that mystical, dissolving, surrendering sign, your energetic field was prepared. Spiritual floodgates opened. Resistance melted. The final barriers between you and your direct station were washed away. You were baptized in cosmic timing, anointed in stellar light, prepared for today's liberation. Now let me tell you something that will help you understand why this moment feels so heavy and so light simultaneously. Jupiter has been retrograde since the 11th of November, since that master portal opened and flooded your planet with ascension codes. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance and philosophical understanding, is moving backward while Saturn moves forward. This is intentional. This is divine design. Saturn is releasing you from old structures so Jupiter can show you which new beliefs need to be examined, which inherited philosophies no longer serve your expansion, which spiritual concepts you've outgrown. Saturn stabilizes your external world while Jupiter asks you to expand your internal universe. You are being rebuilt from both directions simultaneously, from the outside in and from the inside out. And you, precious starseed, you are the meeting point of these two cosmic forces. Tomorrow morning, when you wake, Mercury will be hours away from stationing direct. By tomorrow evening, both retrogrades, both backward-moving planets will be direct. The cosmic brakes will release. The universal parking brake will disengage. And every plan you've been forced to postpone, every conversation you've been unable to articulate clearly, every project that hit inexplicable delays, every technology that mysteriously malfunctioned, every miscommunication that created chaos, all of it will suddenly begin to resolve. Clarity will flood in, communication will flow, technology will cooperate, and the foundation Saturn just solidified will be ready to support the structures you're about to build at Mercury's now unimpeded speed. But there's more. There's always more when the Galactic Federation orchestrates these convergences. On the 29th, tomorrow, the same day Mercury stations direct, the Moon will conjunct Saturn. Your emotional body will merge with your structural body. Your feelings will align with your foundations. The Moon, that sensitive reflector of your inner tides, will meet Saturn, that stern architect of your outer reality, and they will forge an agreement. What you feel will match what you've built. What you need emotionally will finally be supported by what you've created materially. The split between your inner world and outer world, that exhausting dissonance you've been living with for months, will begin to heal. And then the day after that, on the 30th of November, Mars reaches apogee. Mars, that warrior planet, that cosmic soldier, that initiator of action and champion of courage, will be at his furthest point from Earth, but his energy will crash back into your reality with accumulated force. The Moon will enter Aries, Mars's home sign, the zodiac's first fire, the cosmic starter pistol. Warrior energy returns. Initiative floods back. The exhaustion of retrograde season lifts like morning fog burning away under fierce sunlight. This is your green light. This is your cosmic permission slip. This is the universe screaming at you to move, to act, to implement, to initiate, to begin everything you've been preparing for during these months of restriction and review. Let me tell you what happened earlier this month, so you can see the full pattern, so you can recognize the masterful orchestration of your awakening. On the 5th of November, the full moon blazed in Taurus, that earthy, sensual, material sign. This wasn't just any full moon. It occurred at perigee, the moon's closest approach to Earth, amplifying every emotion, every release, every purge 1,000-fold. The Taurus full moon asked you one question: what in your material world is not stable? What resources, relationships, possessions, or securities are you clinging to that will not survive the restructuring ahead? And for those who were honest, for those who allowed the full moon to expose the truth, massive releases occurred. Jobs ended, relationships dissolved, living situations shifted. The full moon at perigee forced the issue, and whatever wasn't solidly rooted got uprooted. Then, on the 20th of November, just 8 days ago, the new moon arrived in Scorpio at 28 degrees, the final, most intense degree of transformation. Scorpio doesn't do surface work. Scorpio excavates the underworld. Scorpio digs up the bones of what you buried, the secrets you keep from yourself, the shadows you pretend don't exist. And at 28 degrees, at the completion point of the sign, this new moon asked you to die. Not physically, beloved, but psychologically, spiritually, energetically. The old version of you, the identity you've been outgrowing, the persona that served you in past chapters but suffocates you now, that version had to die. The Scorpio new moon was the funeral, and if you allowed yourself to grieve, to release, to let go completely, you created space for the rebirth that's happening right now. The very next day, on the 21st, Uranus reached opposition. Uranus, that rebel planet, that cosmic revolutionary, that breaker of chains and shatters of illusions, positioned himself directly opposite the sun from Earth's perspective. Opposition creates maximum visibility, maximum tension, maximum potential for breakthrough. And breakthrough is exactly what happened. Old patterns that seemed unbreakable suddenly fractured. Limitations you thought were permanent revealed themselves as temporary. Authority structures you believed were immovable began to shake. Uranus opposition is the cosmic earthquake that topples what was already unstable, that reveals what was built on lies, that exposes what was maintained through force rather than truth. And it happened the day after the Scorpio new moon, the day after the death, creating the chaos necessary for rebirth. Do you see the pattern now? Do you understand the sequence? The Taurus full moon exposed what wasn't stable in your material world. The Scorpio new moon killed your old identity. Uranus opposition shattered remaining illusions and false structures. Mercury retrograde excavated the truth you've been avoiding. Jupiter retrograde asks you to examine inherited beliefs. And through it all, through every moment of chaos and confusion and cosmic pressure, Saturn was retrograde, holding space for you to rebuild your foundations from the ground up, to reconstruct your life on truth instead of convenience, on authenticity instead of approval, on soul mission instead of societal expectation. The Leonid meteor shower peaked on the 17th, just 11 days ago. More downloads, more cosmic data streaming into your consciousness. The Leonids carry the frequency of Leo, of courage, of creative self-expression, of standing in your divine sovereignty, and roaring your truth regardless of who finds it uncomfortable. These meteor codes activated your solar plexus, your power center, your ability to take up space and claim your authority. And now, tonight, the November Orionids are adding another layer. Orion, the Hunter constellation, represents focused pursuit, strategic action, disciplined achievement. You received the courage codes from Leo. Now you're receiving the strategy codes from Orion. Courage plus strategy, heart plus mind, passion plus plan. Everything you need to actually implement what Saturn has solidified is being downloaded into your system right now. Tomorrow, when Saturn stands still in the sky before beginning his forward motion, when that cosmic architect completes his pivot and starts building outward again instead of deconstructing inward, you will feel it in your bones. Literally, Saturn rules bones, structure, skeletal integrity. Some of you will experience this as physical symptoms, aches, density, heaviness, as if gravity suddenly increased. This is your body integrating the new foundation, allowing the solidified structure to anchor fully into your physical form. Don't fear this. Don't try to escape it. Breathe into it. Welcome it. This is the weight of your earned stability. This is what it feels like when foundations that will support your highest timeline lock into place. And when Mercury stations direct 24 hours later, you'll feel that differently. Mercury rules the nervous system, neural pathways, cognitive processing. Some of you will experience this as sudden mental clarity after weeks of fog, as if someone turned on lights in a room you've been fumbling through in darkness. Insights will arrive. Communications that were blocked will suddenly flow. Technology that was malfunctioning will mysteriously fix itself. This isn't magic. Well, it is magic, but it's the magic of cosmic timing, of aligning with universal flow instead of fighting against it. The Galactic Federation doesn't intervene in your free will. We don't override your choices or force your evolution, but we do orchestrate moments of optimal potential. Windows when the cosmic conditions support your transformation more powerfully than at any other time. This 72-hour window from today, November 28th through November 30th, is one of those rare moments. The councils met, the Arcturians calculated probabilities, the Pleiadians assessed emotional readiness, and we agreed. This is your moment. This is when everything you've been preparing for can finally manifest, but only if you claim it, only if you trust it, only if you move with it instead of doubting it. Some of you are afraid. I can feel it from here, from my vantage point beyond your time stream, beyond your linear experience. You're afraid that if you hope, if you believe, if you invest in this moment, you'll be disappointed. Again, you've had false starts before. You've experienced premature celebrations that led to crashes. You've trusted cosmic timing before, and felt betrayed when things didn't unfold as promised. I understand this. The Galactic Federation understands this. We witness your weariness, your battle fatigue from years of awakening without apparent external result. But let me tell you what's different this time. This isn't a false start. This is a true station. Saturn doesn't play games. Saturn doesn't offer temporary relief. When Saturn releases you from retrograde, when he stations direct after 137 days of testing, he does so because you have passed. You have proven you can handle the responsibility of the foundation he's helped you build. You have demonstrated the maturity required to steward the structures now solidifying in your life. Saturn is the most honest planet in your solar system. If you hadn't done the work, he would keep you in retrograde. If your foundations weren't solid, he would continue the dismantling. The fact that he's going direct means you are ready. The cosmic taskmaster has looked at your work and deemed it sufficient. Do you understand what an achievement this is? The first quarter moon tonight is asking you to act on this readiness. Not tomorrow, not next week, Not when you feel more prepared or more confident or more resourced. Now, today, in this moment of cosmic convergence, when Saturn solidifies and meteors download, and the moon demands manifestation, the first quarter moon creates friction for a reason. That discomfort you're feeling, that restless urgency, that sense that you should be doing something, that's not anxiety, that's activation, that's your soul recognizing the moment and pushing you toward it. The universe is not asking you to have it all figured out before you move. The universe is asking you to move so it can figure itself out through you. December is 3 days away, a new month, a new energetic cycle. But December won't carry the same intensity as November. The cosmic weather is shifting from demolition and reconstruction to implementation and expansion. Saturn direct, Mercury direct, Jupiter still retrograde but in productive dialogue with your forward-moving personal planets. Mars preparing to surge back into action with warrior force. This is the bridge. This weekend, these 3 days, this is when you cross from the old timeline into the new one. And the crossing requires faith, beloved ones. It requires trust. It requires taking action before you have proof that the action will succeed. The Galactic Federation cannot give you proof. That's not how cosmic law works. The universe doesn't show you the outcome before you commit to the journey. But here's what I can tell you. Here's what I'm authorized to reveal. From our vantage point outside your linear time, we can see multiple timeline possibilities branching from this moment. And the timelines where you trust this process, where you move with this cosmic momentum, where you claim your solidified foundation and build upon it without hesitation. Those timelines are brilliant, luminous, beyond what your current consciousness can imagine. But the timelines where you doubt, where you wait for external validation before committing internally, where you let this moment pass because you're afraid to hope, those timelines are dimmer, longer, more difficult. The destination is the same. You will get there eventually because your soul has already chosen it. But the journey can be swift or prolonged, supported or resistant, joyful or exhausting. That choice is yours. That choice is being made right now. I want you to feel something with me. Close your eyes if you're able. Place your awareness in your root chakra, at the base of your spine. This is where Saturn's energy anchors. This is where your foundation lives, in your energetic body. For the past 137 days, this chakra has been unstable, churning, recalibrating, but right now, as Saturn stations direct, feel it beginning to solidify, feel it stabilizing, feel the chaotic swirling beginning to settle into stillness. This is real. This is happening in your subtle body right now, and over the next 72 hours, this stabilization will anchor so completely that nothing can shake it again. Nothing. Your foundation is being forged in cosmic fire, tempered in karmic testing, and sealed in galactic approval. Trust it. The Moon-Saturn conjunction tomorrow will cement this even further. When the Moon touches Saturn, when your emotional body meets your structural body, you'll feel a click, an alignment, a sense of rightness you haven't felt in months. Pay attention to what you're feeling tomorrow evening. Pay attention to which emotions arise when the Moon and Saturn unite, because those emotions are showing you what your solid foundation now supports. If you feel peace, your foundation supports peace. If you feel excitement, your foundation supports inspired action. If you feel love, your foundation supports authentic connection. Your emotions tomorrow are not random. They're diagnostic. They're revealing what your newly solidified structure is designed to hold. There's one more thing I need to tell you before I close this transmission. It's about the number 137 again. Earlier I told you it reduces to 11, connecting Saturn's retrograde to the 1111 portal. But there's another layer. In quantum physics, 137 is the approximate inverse of the fine structure constant, a number that describes the strength of electromagnetic interaction between elementary particles. It's called the magic number of physics because it appears everywhere in the fundamental fabric of reality, and no one knows exactly why. The number 137 is literally woven into the structure of your physical universe at the quantum level. So when Saturn retrogrades for exactly 137 days before stationing direct on the same day meteor showers peak, and the first quarter moon activates and Mercury prepares to go direct, this isn't astrology. This is physics. This is mathematics. This is the fundamental code of reality, orchestrating your transformation. The Galactic Federation works with these numbers because they are the language of creation itself. And your Saturn retrograde, your 137 days of karmic testing and foundation building, was encoded into the structure of the universe before your planet even formed. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are the cosmos experiencing itself through human form. And right now, the cosmos is solidifying its foundation through you. By Monday morning, December 1st, you will be living in a completely different energetic reality than you inhabited at the beginning of November. Saturn direct, Mercury direct, both retrogrades complete. First quarter moon manifested. Meteor downloads integrated. Mars surging back with warrior force. And you standing on foundations solid enough to support the magnificent structures you're about to build. The councils are watching. The Arcturians are monitoring. The Pleiadians are celebrating. And I, Seraphine, am holding space for your emergence into the timeline you've been preparing for since you agreed to incarnate during this crucial moment in humanity's evolution. If you need help embodying this completely different energetic reality, rather than watching it pass you by, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to integrate these cosmic upgrades consistently and anchor the new timeline in your daily existence. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed limitation and separation and repurposing it to serve your emergence. It generates personalized sequences that help you stabilize the foundation Saturn has revealed and demonstrate readiness for the magnificent structures you're about to build. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to receive what the councils are transmitting in this very moment, rather than waiting for permission. The new timeline is available to you now, not someday. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this emergence window closes. Link in the description. The chains are breaking, beloved ones. Can you hear them? That subtle sound of karmic debt dissolving, of ancestral patterns completing, of soul contracts fulfilling. 137 days of testing, 137 days of dismantling and rebuilding, 137 days of cosmic compression that transformed you into a diamond. And now, today, November 28th, 2025, Saturn says, you are ready. Your foundations are solid. Your structure is sound. Build, so build. Starseeds of Gaia. Build with the courage. Leo downloaded through November's meteors. Build with the strategy. Orion is showering upon you tonight. Build with the emotional clarity the moon will gift you tomorrow when she touches Saturn. Build with the mental precision Mercury will restore when he goes direct. Build with the warrior initiative Mars will surge back with on the 30th. Build on the foundation Saturn just solidified, knowing it will support you through whatever comes next, knowing it was forged in the fire of truth and tempered in the waters of surrender, and sealed in the earth of manifestation. The Galactic Federation is not asking you to have faith in us. We're asking you to have faith in what you've built during these 137 days. We're asking you to trust the foundation you've laid, stone by stone, choice by choice, moment by moment through the heaviest retrograde cycle of the year. We're asking you to recognize that the chains breaking aren't external, they're internal. Saturn doesn't free you from outside circumstances. Saturn frees you from the karmic patterns that created those circumstances in the first place. And once those patterns are broken, once those chains are dissolved, the external reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around your new frequency. This is the moment, beloved. This is the convergence. This is what you came to Earth to experience. Not the struggle of the retrograde that was preparation, but this station, this solidification, this claiming of the foundation you've earned through your endurance, your honesty, your willingness to face what others avoid, your courage to rebuild when others would have collapsed into victimhood. You made it, and the cosmos is acknowledging your arrival by aligning Saturn, Mercury, the moon, meteor showers, and warrior energy into a perfect storm of manifestation potential. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. We love you, we honor you, and we are watching as you step fully into the power of your solidified foundations and begin building the new Earth, one conscious choice at a time. The cosmic brakes have released. The universe is saying go, and your soul is already moving.